Why do you think that people in Azerbaijan do not have free media and opposition?
Because this is what I'm told by independent sources in this country.
Which independent sources?
Many independent sources.
Tell me which.
I certainly couldn't name sources.
Oh, if you couldn't name, that means that you're just inventing the story.
So you're saying the media is not under state control?
Not at all.
I mean, NGOs are the subject of a crackdown. Journalists are the subject of a crackdown.
Not at all.
Critics are in jail.
No, not at all.
None of this is true.
Absolutely fake. Absolutely. We have free media. We have free internet. And the number of internet users in Azerbaijan is more than 80%. Can you imagine the restriction of media in a country where internet is free, there is no censorship, and there are 80% of internet users? This is, again, a biased approach. This is an attempt to create a perception in Western audience about Azerbaijan. We have opposition, we have NGOs, we have free political activity, we have free media, we have freedom of speech. But if you raise this question, can I ask you also one? How do you assess what happened to Mr. Assange? Is it a reflection of free media in your country? Let's talk about Assange. How many years he spent in Ecuadorian embassy? And for what? And where is he now? For journalistic activity. You kept that person hostage, actually killing him morally and physically. You did it, not us, and now he's in prison. So you have no moral right to talk about free media when you do these things.
A BBC reporter is being lectured by the leader of Azerbaijan. You know, I have made it clear on this platform. The BBC or Western media have no right to go out there and start calling people dictators. They have no right, no moral high grounds to call other people authoritarian. Because we must understand this, right? We used to believe in the West. I personally used to have so much hope, so much trust in the West, thinking that they were people who did what they said. But I realized that they do not do what they say. They said something and they did the opposite. I realized that and I was so disappointed. It's what people from all over the world have come to realize, that the Westerners, through their media, have painted themselves as the better ones and the rest of us as the bad ones. That's what they've done. That is why you see them go somewhere and say people are complaining about human rights violations. What do you have to say? And then you ask them, what about your own country? Isn't there human rights violations in your countries? What have you done to resolve these human rights violations in your own country before talking about the ones in my country? What have you done? It was Paul Kagame who put it clearly to them. You guys come here and you guys come with your moral high grounds and you guys ask questions that make no sense at all. But you guys are out there pushing refugees back into the ocean to drown. Isn't that human rights violation? Also, like the leader of Azerbaijan said, what has happened to Julian Assange? You guys have imprisoned him for no good reason. You guys are slowly but surely killing him. What is his crime? He published classified but truthful information about what America did in Iraq and Afghanistan. And for that reason, you guys have decided to punish him. Where is the human right? Where is the freedom of speech? When you guys can punish somebody for saying the truth, where is your moral high grounds? Where is your morality? But when you come to Africa, when you go to other countries, you preach to them about human rights violation. Now, do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that some of these countries or some of the leaders of these countries do not get involved into issues like this. They do, especially in Africa. We have a lot of countries where the leaders are authoritarian. There are so many of them in Africa where the leaders will do whatever it takes for them to stay in power. They will do whatever it takes for them to silence any voice of dissent. There are a lot of them. But it's not for the West to come and preach to us about human rights violation, about freedom of speech, when they themselves do not really follow it, do not really respect it. It's like telling your neighbor that their roof is leaking where your own home has been swallowed by water. What a hypocrite they are. So I'm happy that leaders from all over the world, especially from Africa, are now saying that this has to stop. You cannot keep on telling us that you are much more better than us, that what we are doing is wrong, but what you are doing is right. That cannot keep on going. That has to stop. That has to stop. So I encourage us, the Africans, to start speaking out. If you are out there, an African who is not speaking out, start doing it now. Start making your voice count. Start telling your own story, because others will never tell your story the way you will tell it. Others will never share your stories the way you will share it. So start telling your own stories. Start letting the world know exactly who you are, what you stand for. It's high time we, the Africans, start telling the African story. Start telling the Western media that they will not keep on painting us as the bad people. They will not keep on coming to Africa and trying to prove to us that they are much more better than us. That won't work. That won't work. To you guys out there, what is your take on this whole change in dynamic where leaders from all over the world are now outspoken, are now saying things frankly? Do you think that the West will realize that they have really lost legitimacy and try to reevaluate themselves? Or they will keep on with their moral high grounds? Let us know in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please don't forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of good tweet like what you're doing just now help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.